Hello traders, welcome to the weekly market overview with me Pierre from PAFX. Let's see what this upcoming week have to us. It seems that we're gonna have a major week with a lots of news and stuff like that. And the best thing is to be prepared with your plans ahead of the week, and my goal is to help you doing that by making these live sessions for you guys, so you can go to the market with some plans about what trade idea may come in your way. As many of you saw in the beginning of this session, my course registration course for April is ongoing right now. I do still have 5 seats left, and the course will start the first week of April. So if you are interested, just click the link below in the description where you will find the link to PAFX. Just click the link below and read about the more details about the course if you are interested. For those of you who do not need a course, we do as well have offer right now, as you see on your screen, $10 off if you want to join our trading room and get the benefit of all the updates I do send in the room, or if you have any questions relating to trading during the trading days and weeks, you can use that as your room to be able to get all the updates and ask your questions. That is as well available on the PAFX homepage. Just click the link and you will read all the details about it. So let's get this session started with the disclaimer. As usual, guys, please read it carefully and know about the risk involved in trading. This session is not a signal in any way, so it's only the way I see the market and the way I'm gonna trade it. So yeah, read it carefully before we get started. So news for next week, as you see, a lot going on for next week. We do start the week with the G20 meetings on Monday, the whole day. Same thing for Tuesday as well. We do have Aussie monetary policy meeting minutes. We do have sterling CPI year on year, very important number. Wednesday average earnings index for the sterling, and of course FOMC for the USA. Later on Wednesday, we do have New Zealand rate statement. Important to watch that if you're trading any New Zealand pair. And Thursday, employment change and unemployment rate for Aussie. And for sterling, we do have retail sales, we do have official bank rate votes, we do have monetary policy summary, and we do have official bank rate. So it's gonna be a super Thursday for sterling, and Friday for the CAD CPI month on month and core retail sales month on month. And for the USD, we do have core durable goods orders months on months, another important number to keep an eye on. So as you see, lots of news going on, so best for you to keep an eye on all those news to know what's going on and what are the number to take a look at. We start with the Dixie as usual, and as you see, we do have the weekly chart here. I know many of you have been asking me why it's so boring trading some USD pairs, and the reason is, guys, because as you see here, the dollar is correcting. We are inside some kind of correction here, not much going on. We're going sideways, as you see, inside this range here. And on the daily, you see it even more. It's making some kind of snake down here around the monthly pivot point. Dixie went outside the channel, back inside the channel, and didn't go anywhere basically. So I am expecting a possible continuation for this until at least Wednesday. And what's important on Wednesday is not the rate hike itself, because it is expected, everyone is expecting this this rate hike. What's more important is the press conference after that we should be listening to see if the Fed gonna be more hawkish or less hawkish, because at least 3 hikes been expected, and we want to see if there is a 4th one, and if they are more hawkish, if that is what will happen, that we see the Fed more hawkish in the statement, then we may expect that we break above this neckline and probably continue a little bit higher to reach the top of the channel. Anything less than that is already priced in, and may send the dollar back down toward this bottom here. So it's not the best place to make business right now. As you see, we do have this major range where we are a little bit above the mid of it. Dollar is making higher lows, but we do have lower highs as well. So it's not the best area here to take decisions on based on the Dixie only. The best way to do this is, of course, if we got test of the lows or test of the highs, and look for possible bounces. So I am expecting sideways market continuation. There is some short-term trade scenarios if we reach these boundaries. As you see here, the 89.50 level down here was a good support so far, and every time we reach that, we've got a nice bounce to the upside. Now Friday was a very good impulse to the upside, but the day did not close above this neckline. But looking at the way the bullish candle are, you see there is some strength in the bulls, or the bearish candle, very small bodies, but the bullish candle was a very nice momentum candle. So short term, we may see possible retest to 90 handle, or even a little bit lower, and another bounce higher from that level, or a possible flag here, and maybe another push to the upside from after making a flag or something like this, and another impulse higher. So I'm not expecting it to make major moves ahead of Wednesday. I think we're gonna be doing some sideways trading until the FOMC, and Thursday we may see some real movement in the markets. So we do have this range. The top of the range is, of course, up here toward this level. If that reach it, that may give you another bounce to the downside, but as you see, this is a major level up here. The 91 area is a major level, and if broken, that will confirm that we do really have this range that gonna be broken now, and we did have a very nice bottom to continue higher from. But for that to happen, it needs some very good fundamentals news, and those news, I think, gonna be during the FOMC minutes to tell us any hint if the dollar will really start reversing or continue this major move to the downside and start trading below 88.30 as well. So yeah, sideways weak, I think, but if we get the right news on the FOMC statement, then we do have a much better scenario where it may go. Gold, sorry. almost same story, sideways and choppy, but it start looking, keep looking more and more heavy and willing to move to the downside. If you look at how it been trading, the highs are getting lower, but the lows, we got this spike, but then almost equal lows here during this period of time. I think the way gold looking right now, sitting on this neckline, it looks like a possible build up to break below this level and maybe at least reach the monthly S1. If that happen, you're gonna see that we do have the 200 daily moving average coming from below and may act as possible support, dynamic support here at this area. If we look left, you see why this level keep being an important level. The 1300 area here, it has been acting as a very good support and resistant level all the way back here. So keep an eye on the monthly S1 down here. If that got reached, you may get a possible bounce to the upside from this level, at least short term, possible retest of the neckline. What's important here, that if this level, if gold break and hold below the 1300, start making some kind of flag or range here, that's mean the price got accepted and we may see another bounce lower on gold. So that's what I'm looking at for next week. At first, a possible bounce at this level, since we're still above the 200 daily moving average. That means we may get a bounce from the monthly S1 and the retest of the 200 moving average. But let's not forget, this rounded top start looking as a very, very good reversal pattern, and if the monthly S1, as I said, got broken and the price got accepted, there is a possibility for more to the downside. Oil keep going sideways now. I think the best way to do business here is to trade this range until you get a breakout. So we do have this box or this lower box here, but I think this is the range. In worst case scenario, you reach the major high up here. But as you see, every time we tested the 60 even-handed number, the price get a bounce from this level. So this now is an important support level, and it seems like it is holding for oil. So for next week, any retest toward this level is an important area to look at for a possible bounce down, or if we test the 60, that we may get a possible bounce up from this level until you see a breakout from this range. So far sideways, and we should keep playing the boxes until we see a break to the upside or to the downside and follow that momentum move. Aussie New Zealand, after the retest of this major level, we did another retest higher, couldn't break above the monthly pivot point once again and got rejected. I think now that a possible market objective is to reach at least the monthly S1, so keep selling rallies on this one, targeting the monthly S1 down here is an important support level. But now we are trading below the 200 moving average. As you see, the retest could not break above it, so it is more bearish than bullish. And if this happened, that we see a break of this level here, we may see possible continuation to the bottom of this area down here. So I think now if this bearish flag got broken, that we may keep going lower. First target, of course, monthly S1 on 4-hour time frame. You see the bottom of the box is an important level to look at, because you want to see this get broken before a continuation lower. Yeah, so keep an eye here. It may give you a possible bounce back up from the bottom of this box, but as you see, the 200 moving average on the 4-hour been acting as very good dynamic resistant when tested on the move to the upside. AUD very strong rejection on Wednesday, continuation Thursday and Friday. As you see, the bears entered the market very strongly here. The Friday candle did close at the lows, which means there was no profit taking for the weekly close as well. So this give us a very strong signal that we may keep continuing lower on this pair. We now broke below previous structure, and as I said, there was nothing, no profit taking at all. Usually on Fridays you see some profit taking the last 4 hours, and that usually give you a bounce higher. That did not happen, which means that this could be the traders are very convinced that this will continue lower. No, after such a major and strong move both Thursday and Friday, I think Monday gonna be contraction time for this pair going sideways before we see a break of that range. So expecting slow market Monday and maybe a little bit of Tuesday as well, but the main idea is sell the pullbacks, sell the rallies on AUD. CAD Chief, it was a very good bounce to the upside, but as you see, couldn't break above monthly pivot point and got rejected at that level all the way back down to the monthly S1. The S1 is usually a support level, and as you see here, if we look left, it was support and resistance level as well here, but still looking heavy on if you look at the body of these candles, but since Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, the candle bodies were much smaller, and that because we had a very strong move, and usually after that you get some sideways market. Yeah, if we go back to the daily, what we should be a little bit worried about to not really keep shorting from after this move is that we may get some divergence on the RSI when if the daily reach these lows. You see the RSI is way above where it should be. If you compare with this low here, if we take and compare these and these, you see that we have a major divergence between this low, which was here, and this low, which is much lower. So still a bit of early to say that we may get another bounce from the monthly S1 yet. We do need to have more evidence. For me now, when the price got below this structure, then this structure is broken and invalid, and I would, if I want to take a long, I want it to be from this low down here instead. So I am watching this for a possible continuation lower, but I will keep an eye on this divergence that been going on the daily, and right now going on even on the 4 hour. Yeah, so the best scenario would be if we get another retest up here to short it from that level, or if it breaks below this structure here and give you a retest back up toward monthly S1, then that is another scenario to do it. Yeah, but since we have this divergence up here, I would preferably take it from this level back down if we got a retest toward this level and back down. CAD Jappy, a great performer. You know, guys, that we've been trading this since the break of this neckline. Those of you who've been with me every week know sure about that, because we've been talking about this move every single week, and we've been taking one level at a time. Now, it did reach a very important support level. I am expecting a possible bounce from this level. The divergence on the RSI on the daily is major already. If you compare this low and this low, as you see, the RSI is making the opposite, which is bullish divergence. And if we look left, you see that this structure is very, very important. There is nothing below that. If this level got broken, then we are going all the way down here, as you see. But for now, we should be looking for a possible bounce from this support level, and based on that divergence on the daily, on the 4-hour, we do not have major divergence, but it is still a divergence even on this time frame, and we should start looking for any possible double bottom or something like that on lower time frame at this structure down here. So if you go down to the 1 hour or 15 minutes on the retest down here, if you get another bullish divergence on this particular time frame, then you maybe can take a long from here in anticipation that we get a bounce higher from this major support level. Yeah, longer term on this one, if we break below this area, you see that we have a very good short trade scenario. It is a no man land down here, and if we break below this level longer term, then we are going all the way back down toward where the price was around the Trump election. Chief Jappy, another good performer. We've been shorting it since the break of the 200 moving average up here. Now we did break below this important structure, did a retest and still holding below that. Wednesday was a good rejection, continuation on Thursday and Friday, and now this previous structure low got broken. If we look left, we do not have much of structures on the way. So I am seeing a continuation here to probably close this gap or even reach this low down here, 107.70. So do not miss the continuation of this move. If you missed this leg to the downside, now it's time to find a good entry. Wait for a possible pullback and try to short it, because there is a very good possibility that we reach the low down here on this one. 4-hour time frame, you see there is almost one-way direction only, with a very, very narrow and shallow corrections. So the best would be a retest higher toward these levels, or if this is our last low, you may take a Fibonacci retracement tool and try to find some confluence. So if this is really our last low for now, I think the 61.8 and this previous structure could be a good level to take a short from. So keep an eye on that level, especially if this is really our last low on this swing here. But try to find yourself an entry, yeah? As you see, very good opportunity for continuation lower on this one. Euro Aussie, keep going higher and higher. The retest of the monthly pivot point was a good level for Euro Aussie to bounce back up, and it seems the up move looking very healthy, and that we may keep moving higher from this level. Now if we look at the weekly, we have one thing that gonna need to be broken, and that is this high up here. If that got broken, then you see the possibilities we do have here. First target gonna be these highs up here, and the last target is of course the extreme high up here. But looking at it right now, we do have this long going range now, and we should be keeping an eye, as I said, on this previous high here. We don't see it on the daily. Let me activate that so we can put it on daily as well. Here we go. So keep an eye on this high. Short term, I think we may get a bounce from that level back down to retest a structure, find more buyers, and probably continuation. So keep an eye on that. There is possible divergence here, but it seems that the price got accepted at these levels, and there is a possibility for continuations. EuroCAD back at that very important resistant level. As you see, the week before was a good rejection, but there was no continuation. We never broke and traded below the low of the bearish week, so there was no signal really to short it. And right now I think the traders that shorted at this level on this week, we do have a very big stop loss pocket somewhere in these areas up here, and if those stop losses start to get triggered, they're gonna be giving a very strong momentum breakout for this one. So watch this level, important level here. It's gonna be defended. The traders that went short here on this candle, they're gonna defend this area because their stops are up here, and they surely do not want those stops to get taken out. So it's gonna be defended, and the RSI is making a major divergence so far, but still no real signal yet. You see this strong move to the downside was defended directly and moved all the way back up. 4 hour time frame, we do have divergence on this time frame as well. So as you see here, these highs are higher, but the RSI are lower. So we do have this possible ascending wedge right now. Usually these patterns used to be possible break to the downside. So short term, if we get a break of this wedge, that we may reach the trend line or the monthly R1, and then a bounce back up, because we do have this upper range we are trading at right now. So we're gonna have this possible box to trade inside for next week if we don't see the breakout early. Yeah. So very important level to watch, guys. As you saw on the weekly and the daily, it is a major level. Euro sterling doing what we expected, that we're gonna see it trading inside this channel. On the retest of the channel, we start going lower, and we've been saying sell rallies on this one back toward monthly S1, and that's what I am still expecting. First trouble area is of course this swing low, so if you are holding a short, you probably went to take some profit at these lows down here, or at least manage your trade when the price reached these levels. But as you see, it's been channeling nicely inside this channel now, and the down move looks healthy on all time frame. On the 4 hour, you see it more clearly why this swing low is an important level to manage your trade at if you are holding a short. But any retest toward the monthly pivot point could be another good level to try to take another short on this one, or any retest to the 200 moving average on the 4 hour. So continuation to the downside. Euro-JAPY, I did publish an idea here on my page here. Let me show you that. Euro-JAPY possible short continuation when we got rejected on the retest and expecting to reach the monthly S1, and I still think the same even now. This correction seems to be ended now. We did retest the structure, this major important structure. We did retest the 200 moving average, couldn't stay above it, and got rejected. So there is a possibility for a continuation lower. Keep an eye on this low here if you are holding a short here. Keep an eye on this low, the 129.35 area could be a possible trouble area here. As you see, this looks almost the same as Chief JAPY, one way only, and it needs some correction higher. RSI is at the extremes. So if you get any bounce early next week, you could try to sell from this level one more time in anticipation to break these lows and continue lower. So longer term, I think we may reach the monthly S1 down here. EURUSD, a boring one. It looks the same as the Dixie, but in the opposite way, as you know. After this double or triple top up here, we got a nice move to the downside, and since then we've going sideways, not making any new lows or any new highs. All it happens, we got another lower high here. We didn't break below this low on the daily. So yeah, guys, keep following this ranging. Right now we are trading in this lower box. I think this range is what we will work with this week, that we may have some bounce play at these levels. I'm not a fan of Euro USD right now. There is much better trending market to work with. It may give you some short-term trades, but we need to break some major level before we really see strong moves. Yeah, so keep playing these levels. Keep an eye on the monthly R1 and this high here for a possible short, or keep an eye on this at the bottom of this upper range here for a possible bounce up until you see a break. Other than that, there's nothing to do with this pair so far. Sterling CAD, break above a very important level here, as you see. This week here we tested the 200 moving average and got rejected, but we never got at least an hour trade below the low of this previous week. There was no signal to short more, and it kept moving higher. Now it seems like lots of stop losses were placed somewhere here and we're taking out. Now, as you see, we did break this major neckline here, a very important level and neckline, and we are trading inside, in the middle, or a little bit higher than that of the Brexit week here. So clearly continuation to the upside. The question is where to take the long continuation. So for next week we should be looking for pullbacks and continuation. The first level is of course this structure here around the monthly R2. The best level I think is around the monthly R1, that you see a correction to this level and start looking for bullish evidence for another bounce higher. These are the levels to look at, but let's not forget it's been moving up for a very good time now, and a deep correction is due now. And as far as we are holding these highs, we probably will not see a much deeper correction. What may happen could be a possible range scenario like this before a possible breakout and continuation higher. There's no idea to fight an ongoing trend, especially for me now when we broke above and holding above this major structure here. Sterling Jappy, we broke below this major structure and went all the way back up, got rejected at this possible structure here. I've talked about this possible level to act as possible resistance. It did that, but there was no convenience in the move. As you see, all the wicks are coming from the downside. The bodies of the candles are not as big as these bullish candles here. So this could be, instead of a rejection, a possible correction and another bounce higher. So it is sitting at that support once again, but closed once again below the 200 daily moving average. So let's keep an eye on this level here. We want to see that 147.30 is holding, and it need to do so for the pair to continue higher or break above these height, continue higher. So keep an eye at where the price is testing right now. If this will not hold, then any close below 147 may send us all the way back down here. So watch this level, go to a lower time frame and start looking. As for now, you see that on the 4-hour we do have this move to the downside. You want to see that broken, retested for a possible move toward the monthly pivot point. So yeah, watch this level carefully, guys. To the downside, next trouble is down here. As you see, may give you a bounce as well. Sterling USD, another USD pair that been going a little bit of a sideways during last week. Now we did break above this descending channel, which been going inside this major ascending channel. So trading above this neckline, And on the 4-hour you see it much better. We broke above this structure here and this neckline with a very strong candle. We tested deep inside and got rejected all the way up toward the monthly pivot point. So if we keep holding this level, there is a possibility that we see a break outside of this flag here, and that we may reach the monthly R1. Not sure if this will happen early next week or after, probably after FOMC, depends on the statement, as I said. And do not forget that we do have some major sterling news next week, especially on Thursday. Yeah, so there is news for sterling CPI important on Tuesday. Then we do have average earning important as well, but the most important thing the market will be looking at is the monetary policy summary on Thursday. So keep an eye on those fundamentals. For technicals, I told you that this neckline is important now. We did break it. We're making a possible flag here, bullish flag, and we may see a breakout to the upside on this one. New Zealand USD, it will test the 200 moving average and this low here. It's the first time I say something like will. I used to say maybe, but looking at it now, it looks very, very empty down here. So I think market objective is to reach the structure down here once again. Looking at the bodies of these bearish candles, seems that the bears really taking this momentum, and seems that they want to even break this structure for next week. So let's wait and see. But we had a very good 2618 trade scenario here, as you see. After this double top here, we never broke the neckline, but we got a very nice correction back toward the 618, and then we've got this very strong move to the downside. So keep an eye on this level down here. It is an important structure that may give you at least a short-term bounce back up, or if broken, we want to see the retest to hold below the structure, then we may continue lower on this one. So yeah, do business somewhere at this level for the possible bounce or break in continuation. If you're holding a short, of course you need to manage your trade around this area down here. USD CAD, another pair that been going very, very well. The CAD been so weak the last 3 weeks or so, and now, as you see, guys, we did break above this. Firstly, we broke above this structure here, got rejected. The rejection was only a short-term correction before we got another move to the upside, broke back inside this important structure up here. This range now is where the price is, and I am expecting a continuation higher on this one. The question is where to buy it, and that would be a good level to look at, the retest of this structure here, or even a retest of the lower structure down here, and another move toward monthly R2 is possible. So trend continuation upside. The question is where to get the best entry, and as you see on the 4-hour, it is clear that this structure up here or down here are two good levels to try to take a trend continuation trade to the upside on this one. USD JAPY, choppy and boring for now, but it still looks heavy, and we should keep an eye down here. 105.30 area is the support level that we may get a possible bounce from. I think JAPY pairs may give us some sideways market to the end of this month based on this very strong impulse to the downside. The price need to get some consolidation, get accepted down here before either a continuation or a reversal. So keep an eye on 105.30. For the RSI, we do have some divergence going on already since this low here and this low here. So we want to see if this third test toward 105.50, 105.30 gonna give us another bounce to the upside. You see the range here, guys. It is now a clear where we do have the swing low and the swing high. So we may keep trading inside this range for a while. 105.30 toward 107.30 is the range we have. Do not make business inside that. Try to work with the edges of the range, much easier. And on the 4 hour, here you have it. We broke below this structure 106.30 that I mentioned in last week. We've got a bounce, but then we broke below it, retested, and now we are trading in this lower range. Bitcoins, another one that I did publish an idea about over my page at pafx.com, and it was this idea, and I was talking at possible break, retest, and if that happened, that we may reach the 6,000 or 5,800 down here. So now we do have the break, guys, on the daily. So 7,800 is broken now, and I am looking for a possible market objective or possible target back down here toward the 6,000 area before a possible bounce higher. Longer term, I think we may move even lower. 4 hour time frame, you see we have the break, we have the retest, and right now we have the possible continuation to the downside. So keep selling rallies or any correction higher. The best level would be back up at this level here, 7,800, and then one short again. Dow and S&P 500, they are looking the same. As I said last week, what I don't like about it, that we do have many wide range to work with. First, we do have this major range here. Then we do have this inside range now going on. And the price is like in the middle of these both range. So not the best place to do business at. I think any retest to this low, this smaller box may give you a bounce higher, or a retest to the edge of this top of this smaller box as well. It is sideways so far, and yeah, once again, I don't like how it looks, but it do give us some short-term trades on lower time frames. We did some good trades on it, and as for now, on this particular time frame, 4 hour and 1 hour time frame, we can try to short where the price we're testing here. Last week got rejected at this level here, the 25k level, for a possible bounce lower. So keep an eye on this level here. As you see, the 200 moving average on the 4-hour been acting as good dynamic support and resistant. Bounce at it here, broke it here, retested here, bounce back, retest and bounce. So keep an eye on this level. The 25,000 is an important level to keep an eye at for a possible rejection back down from this level here to the downside, or you should keep an eye to see if it's gonna get broken. Then you may take the retest, because where the price is right now, we could do both sides. Actually, we are not in a good level at all. As you see, the top of the range is up here, the bottom is here, and we have the bottom of the major range. We do have the top of the major range and the bottom is down here. So we've been trading sideways, and that's why I am thinking that the most possibility is gonna happen on these lower time frames, trying to see these impulses, flags, and then break of outside of these flags short term. And we're back to Dixie, which means that was the last chart we've been looking at, and we're back to the Dixie. As usual, couple of minutes for questions or any chart request, and then we're gonna call it a day. So let me drink some water, guys, and get back to you like in 10 seconds. So please write your questions in the chat if you have any. Hi, Christina. I didn't look at the chat at all. Chill Forex, sorry, I didn't look at the chat, so I don't know where you mean a potential inverted head and shoulder. You welcome, DJ Liam. Okay, guys, I don't see any questions, so I think that was it for the day. Trade safe and keep your risk low and make your plans ahead of the market opens. Chill Forex, you mean USD Jappy daily? Let's take a look at that. Yeah, there is a possibility for that. I think you mean this. It should be this one you're talking about. So yeah, as far as we do not have any close below the head, it could be a possible inverted head and shoulders. But to get a confirmation of this head and shoulders, you need to wait like until the break of the neckline up here. So that's why I think that we should at first keep an eye at the 105.30 area for a possible bounce, or a little bit higher, 105.50 would be even better. That would give you that right shoulder if so. But yeah, you could say that this looks like as a possible inverted head and shoulder on USD JAPY. Yeah, 109.50. I think 108.50 is the major resistance for me, and that is toward this area here. As you see, this range here been going for a very long time before we got this breakout. So 108.50 is the major resistance in my opinion. 109.50 you're talking about is the monthly R1 up here. For me, if the price enter inside this range and reach 109.50, that should mean that we may stay inside this range and give another impulse higher. So yeah, watch 108.50 at first. Yeah, okay. Oh, you meant so. Okay. Then we have the same idea about it. Nice. Okay, guys. I don't see any other questions. So thank you very much for being here. Please do not forget to hit the like button if you do like these sessions. Feel free to share the video as well. Thank you and see you out there. Bye bye.